Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So in this video, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, and that is I'm going to cover two completely different topics because one topic is too short to have its own video, so I'm going to put it right at the start here, and that is clearing up a misconception that a lot of people have within the community about something that happens within the dojo. And then after that, I'm going to talk about some quality of life improvements that we desperately need within the game, okay? And the first thing I want to clear up is this dojo thing, right? So if we go to training and we go to the dojo, hey, collect some chests. Now, I don't know where this misconception comes from. I actually, shout out to Payne, he really early went in and made a video about this, and I think either people picked up his wording wrong or it was just read wrong, I'm not 100% sure, but people have got the completely wrong idea about one of these dojo upgrades, right? And it's this one here. So, flexible surface, right? Increases the chance of neutral equipment turning into factional equipment by 100%, right? So basically when you go to here and you get equipment, if I got any, no I don't, did I get any here? No I didn't. Maybe if I go to the shop. Well, this one here, right? I'm not going to buy it because I don't have enough. But you see how it's got a question mark there, right? When you buy that, there's a chance that it comes out with nothing. But there's also a chance that it comes out with something. And the belief was, with this upgrade, it would always come out with something, whether it be electricity, wind or fire, right? That's not what it does, right? That is not what it does. It's very important that you kind of understand the word in here. Increases the chance of neutral equipment turning into factional equipment by 100%, right? That's not saying you have a 100% chance of getting factional equipment, right? What it is saying is it doubles what the base odds are in an equipment coming out as factional equipment, right? So I don't know what the exact odds are. No one does because they don't reveal it, right? But let's just say that if we go back to this upgrade, let's just say that if I purchase that, I have, with no upgrades in the dojo, I have a 45% chance that that is going to have a faction attached to it, right? When I have that dojo upgrade all the way up, that 45% chance will be increased by 100%, which puts it to a 90% chance, okay? So it is not guaranteed to give you factional equipment. It is highly likely that you will get factional equipment, and usually people only think there is some sort of a bug because they've gone so many having factional equipment coming every single time that they think it is guaranteed. And if you don't read the nuance in the wording, you might think that yourself because you just see the 100% and you think that means I've got a 100% chance of getting this factional equipment. Again, that's not what it is. It is basically doubled. They could word it differently that would make people understand it a little bit better, because the 100% maybe just makes people instantly think, oh, guarantee, right? But basically what it is saying is it's doubling the odds, right? So whatever the odds are, they're being doubled because they're being increased by 100%, okay? So if that happens to you, it's not a bug, you're just not guaranteed to get factional equipment. You're very highly likely to get factional equipment, you're just not guaranteed. So nobody needs to ask that question in bug reporting anymore because it is not a bug. It's literally what it's supposed to do, right? So I'm going to talk about some quality of life improvements that if you are watching these videos, Topjoy, it would be really great if you could consider implementing into the game. First of all, me being a little bit more on the heavy summoning side, I've noticed that as of late, anytime I'm doing anything, I'm getting units going into my mail and I'm getting these shards filling up. I'm having to use a bunch of them because they're filling up inside my mailbox, and I can't do anything with them because I really don't need any more fodder filling up my box because I am filled with fodder. Now I know a lot of you would probably think, oh, whale problem, right? But we can't do anything with these. We cannot do anything with them other than quick awaken them, combine them, and just leave them sitting in our boxes, right? Now if you've watched my other 2 videos that I put out today, talking about units that we can expect coming from TW, I will never have enough factional units to use all these because there isn't enough in the game. So there is a problem with this system, with having too much fodder, and it will eventually probably happen to a lot of people as you play the game. If the game is running that long, you'll build up an excess, a surplus of these characters that you just can't do anything with, because we're only potentially expecting 1 more wind character, 2 more flame characters, or 3 more flame characters, and 2 more, maybe 3 more electrical characters. There's no use for these fodders, they're just not going to go anywhere. So I would think it would be a really nice quality of life upgrade if they could simply add the ability for us to sell or dismiss B class units, natural B class units. If we could have the function to sell them, that would be fantastic. It would allow us to have more box space so that we don't fill up on having an excess of things that we do not need, and it would also allow us to get more of these breakdown tokens, or whatever they're called, these stupid things here, these dismissal points. Now I've got tons of them anyway, right, but at the same time they could expand the shop, you know, they could add some more things into this shop, and that would give us things to spend them on anyway, right? Give people more opportunities to get faith gems or whatever. If you have got a unit maxed out, if you've done the same criteria as when you trade a character, so if we go to here and I go to substitute, the only reason I can do this with Trendy Cami is because Trendy Cami is maxed out, right? If I was to get a copy of, say, Vega, right? Vega's not maxed out. If I get another copy of him, I cannot substitute him for something. I need to get him to 5 stars first, and then I can substitute him. So if you want to imply that same system to B class units, only after you've got a B class unit who is SS, S plus, or I think that's how high they can go, S plus. Once they're there, allow us the opportunity to sell B class units for trade tokens, which would be absolutely fantastic. Now another quality of life update that actually was suggested by Solo on the Discord, and he asked, I told him I was going to make this video, and he said, could you bring this up? So I'm going to bring it up, would be a trade function. So with people playing the game, you have people who hit points within the game where they can't use certain things. What I mean by that is they know that there's no point in them using their cash because they've got a massive reserve of cash. They might have a huge reserve of EXP, and the thing that's holding them back is like breakstones. And what will happen is they'll sit on boxes, so like 24-hour boxes, 12-hour boxes, 8-hour boxes, stuff like that. They'll sit on them up here because they've got no use for them at that current time, and if they are being wise with their currency, they basically can't trade them for anything. There's no point because they'll just end up wasting them, getting a lower trade-in value, so they just sit on them, right? What would be nice is if they could have a trade function, okay? Now obviously a lot of people wouldn't want to use this, however having the option to use this would be fantastic. So if for example you've got I wish I had boxes here, it would make this easier to have a visual of, right? But let's just say this here is cash. I'm sitting on 100 gold cash, right? If you click that and you've got an option where you can trade, and you can trade that gold cash for maybe a rate of 5 to 1, because cash is different, right? 5 to 1, you could trade it for breakstone chests or EXP chests, right? With breakstones or EXP, the trade-in value might be 2.5 to 1. Sure, players will lose out, but it is still an option that some of them may be willing to take, because they might just want to get over that breakstone hurdle, they might just want to push on. It's going to keep them engaged, and it would keep them happier and more invested within the game. This could apply to a lot of things. like these, you'd be able to trade these potentially for breakstones. Again, you can dictate the conversion rate or whatever, but it would still be an option, because like me, for example, right now, if I could trade these for EXP, breakstones, cash, I would take a loss on them because they're just sitting gathering dust in my box anyway. Same with things like these. These are just going to build up because I've already mentioned we've got the issue with characters just completely cluttering our boxes. Instead of me having to cash these in and then dismantle them to try and get the dismantle points, if you allowed me to do it just from here, it would make things a hell of a lot better, and it would improve the function of the game. The final quality of life update that we need desperately, and I do not understand why we do not have it within the game yet, is, simply put, SSS Gear. Why do we still not have SSS Gear? There's no reason for us not to have SSS Gear at this point. The story has scaled so much at the later levels. You originally had within here, at this point within the game, you had the SSS Gear within the pay table. It was here. Now it's not. It's just you took it out the game because you had not coded it into the game, basically. So you decided, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to remove it, which in my opinion is not the right thing to do. If I look down here at my TW account, hopefully I can look that far forward. I don't know if I can actually. I can only look up to chapter 5, because I've not gone far enough in my TW account. I can only look up to chapter 15, right? But if I could look and I could show you, I would be able to click on it and show you the rewards that you got for it. By these chapters in the game, you are getting the SSS Gear, right? It should be available by now, but they've still not coded it into the game, because when it comes to gear just now, you guys, if you're not as high up, you might not have noticed it yet, but trust me, as you progress within the game, you will notice this. With gear, it really does not make an impact at all. The percentage boosts do, but the stat boosts do nothing, right? They do nothing at this point within the game, okay? So they really need to start introducing the SSS Gear. Now, I don't know if it works exactly like AFK Arena. I would expect it probably does with SSS Gear. In AFK Arena anyway, you can bind it to a specific character and it can give you a big boost, a big gain on those characters. I expect that's probably how it would work for this as well. So instead of using engraving stones to raise the tier of gear, you use the engraving stone to bind that gear to a specific character, right? I believe that's probably how it works. I'm not sure, but I think it does. That would be huge for progression, and it's really something that should be in the game by now. People have hit that point, and I don't see the reason why you would be bottlenecking them at this point by not introducing that gear to the game. So it really needs to happen ASAP, in my opinion. But yeah, I was originally going to do two separate videos because they are two completely different topics, with the Dojo Upgrade and then talking about these quality of life updates that we really need to see within the game. But, you know, it didn't merit two videos. Put it together into one. Let me know if there's any quality of life upgrades that you think we need to see within the game. I mean, we're still waiting on a lot of gameplay elements to be added to the game, like the Inferno and the Master Tower and stuff like that. They're still due to be added to the game. I'm not sure what other game modes themselves are still due to be added to the game. In fact, you know what? One other quality of life update that it would be nice if you could add would be when you're doing modes like the current bosses within the Effigy Clash that use 3 teams and they are very long, have the ability to skip battle, because what you'll find, Topjoy, is when people are playing, they might use their first couple of runs to try to set a good score, and after that they just want to do their turns to unlock the boxes or help their faction mates out. So having the skip battle function would be good for a lot of people. Sure, you can use consecutive battle, but it can still take like 15-20 minutes, which for a lot of people, they don't want to just sit there with their phone on, not playing the game, they're just letting it play. So doing basically what you do in Arena, where you simply add the function that you can go into a battle, fight the boss, okay, here's my free teams, that's good, I'll just hit this button, damn, get the results. Add that in. That would make people a hell of a lot happier than having to wade through very long drawn out matches that just seem to take forever, and you've not really got any input in them. So please add the skip battle function to boss battles, because I think people would really appreciate it. Anyway guys, again, if I've missed anything, drop it in the comments down below. Let me know. I'm going to keep playing this TW account. I'm going to try and build myself a free-to-play account on the TW account. Would you guys be interested in seeing that journey? It's different characters and stuff like that. We will get the characters eventually, so just, it's a different look. If you want to see content like that, let me know. But anyway, I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Bye.